Hello and welcome to the first travel show of 2017. Happy New Year if you're still listening to this in January, although I'm never too sure when you should stop saying Happy New Year. Perhaps you just stop at the second and then leave it at that. If you have any idea when the official Stop Saying Happy New Year day is, do let me know, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. As it's January, it's the peak booking time, or the traditional peak booking time for holidays in the UK. So today I'm going to be talking about how you can use the internet to find the ideal holiday for 2017. But before we start, as it's peak booking time, there are a lot of scams out there. And ABTA has revealed the top 5 scams, and I'm going to go through them now. Apparently, according to ABTA, around about a third of summer holidays are typically booked between January and February. And fraud is up 420% year on year and costs holidaymakers £11.5 million. And this is according to City of London Police. So here are the scams. Businesses not providing financial protection. In 2016, more than 100 travel businesses were identified by ABTA as selling package holidays without proper financial protection in place, and ABTA referred them to the relevant authorities. All package holidays sold in the UK should include protection, where holidaymakers are not only entitled to a refund or repatriation. Should the travel company go out of business, there's also specific legal rights as well. People booking a holiday that is ATOL protected should always receive an ATOL certificate. Scam websites. Some websites are set up purely to defraud customers, and these scam or fraudulent websites are an area of growing concern for ABTA. On a legitimate website, there should be a locked padlock symbol in the browser window frame, which appears when you attempt to log in or register, or the web address should begin https://. Sticking with websites, ABTA are warning about cloned websites. These are websites that are copies of a genuine site with subtle changes made. Fraudsters can clone legitimate websites but will change the last part of the web address, such as from .co.uk to .org. They can also produce a realistic looking website, but with the spelling of the address slightly different from that of the authentic site. And there's loads of websites out there which are affiliate links, and they're not scams, they're just people trying to make money from click-through advertising. So although you should be careful about a web address, it doesn't always mean it's a scam. But anyway, ABTA recommend that you check the website address, and it appears that it's correct. And if you're suspicious of a website, carry out a web search to see if you can find out whether or not it's fraudulent. Warning number 4 is payment via bank transfers. Be very suspicious when the only payment option is a bank transfer. Not only is this an indication that no bank is prepared to provide credit card facilities, but if you're dealing with a scammer, it'll be virtually impossible for you to get your money back. And finally, false credentials. Some fraudulent companies may falsely use logos of official bodies such as ATOL, ABTA, IATA, TTA, whatever the group is. If the company you are using claims to be a member of a trade association, you should be able to easily verify the membership of the company by going to the trade association's website. And ABTA's example is abta.com/find-a-member. As part of the warning, ABTA is launching a nationwide advertising campaign which begins on the 4th of January in response to the growing issue of fraudulent websites, online scams and non-compliant travel companies that have no financial protection in place. Of course, the advertisement also promote ABTA's own Travel with Confidence message and encourage consumers to book with an ABTA travel agent during the busiest time of the holiday sales. If you have been a victim of a travel-related fraud, you should register your complaint online to the police at Action Fraud. You can report fraud and cybercrime at www.actionfraud.police.uk, or you can speak to a specialist fraud and cybercrime advisor on 0300 123 2040. If you ever come across a fraudulent website, or you've been ripped off yourself and you feel brave enough, please do post the details of the website and or the scam you fell victim to at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
If you're going abroad by plane, boat, or the family car? If you're going abroad for pleasure or business? There's one essential thing to do before you go. Check the expiry date on your European Health Insurance card. You can renew it up to 6 months before it expires. Visit nhs.uk/healthcareabroad or call 0845 606 2030. Bon voyage!
You're listening to The Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. So it's the time of year that people traditionally look forward to their summer holiday. They've gone back to work, they're feeling the pain, and they're now looking for something to look forward to in the summer. And in the old days, you just went to your local travel agent. In the very old days, you used to queue up outside the travel agent, and you booked the trip that the agent recommended. But with the rise of the internet use, more and more people are now staying at home and booking their holidays using a website. Unfortunately, too many people just use their computers to find prices and dates. If you speak to these internet bookers, they nearly all go on about the bargain they have found. But as well as bargains, the internet does offer far more to the travel person, holiday maker, when he's doing his research. For example, you can read about what others have thought about your chosen hotel. You can learn some of the language of your destination. Or you can even check the weather when you leave home to see what it's going to be like when you get there. However, planning a holiday sometimes can be actually more stress and work than what you're trying to avoid in the summer. And while the internet can make things much simpler, it does take a lot of your spare time. We've all known somebody, I'm sure, who spent hours and hours and hours trying to find a cheap holiday. And some of the times I've been seen around in the last few days and looking at 16, 17, 20 hours of people sitting in front of a computer trying to find a holiday, trying to save a few quid. Much better off going and speaking to an expert, but there we go. So the hardest part of researching your holiday using the internet is deciding where you want to start. Are you activity-led, weather-led, or have you always wanted to visit somewhere in particular? The starting point depends on what you want to do when you're away. And while you're thinking about the major reasons for your trip, don't forget that by the time you've arrived, it may be too late to find out how important the little details are as well. So do remember to list all your personal comfort requirements and that of everybody else you're travelling with before you start researching. So how can you use the internet to plan and research your trip? Unfortunately, it isn't as easy as going to one website. When you want the perfect holiday, you have to look around. So you should start researching early to ensure that you get the best possible selection and hopefully an early booking discount. You should keep all your holiday research information in one place. I'm old school and I prefer to keep printed copies of information instead of keeping everything on my computer. It's just that I find it easier reading paper than I do reading the computer screen, but it's whatever method suits you best. Just ensure that you don't lose all the work you've done. If you're planning a trip for a group of friends, then an online method of storage is probably the best method, as all members of the group can access and amend it if necessary. You can use docs.google.com to share information. There are plenty of others as well. But you shouldn't worry about the price for now. I know it's hard. Just brainstorm and look for what you're looking for on the trip. Make a list of all the activities you would like to enjoy while you're away. If you booked a fly and flop holiday in the past, then listing activities may be a bit of a challenge to you at first. Do you want to see particular animals? Do you want to gamble, take part in a festival, or just play in the sea? What about sporting activities, sightseeing or fine dining? Rate all your activities in an order of importance. Before you go online, ensure that you've made a checklist. It is so easy to get distracted while searching around the internet that without a list of requirements to keep you on track, you could end up spending hours watching videos of cats instead of sourcing the best cocktail bar in Barbados. So now you've got your checklist and you can start browsing the internet using the places and activities you have chosen as keywords in your search. You can now find out if the places on your list will match your desired vacation activities. Consider the activities at the bottom of your list as dispensable. If all other aspects of the destination match your needs, then you can drop some of the lesser bits and pieces, especially if it's somebody in the group who can't argue back. You will find dozens of websites for each location which can provide information on where to stay, what you can do, and also provide maps and contact information if you have further questions. So using all the steps I've gone through already, you can narrow your list down to your top 2 or 3 destination choices. Remember that all companies can't be the cheapest, and that the cheapest isn't necessarily the best deal. In a lot of cases, the lowest price guarantee that some sites offers may not be worth anything due to the small print and slight variations in the holidays. And also, do remember that using a bookable website is not like speaking to a professional. It will give you what you've ordered, not what you want. You won't be told if your booking doesn't make any sense. You can follow me on Twitter @holiday_hut. So finding the location is probably the toughest decision to make when you're researching and planning your own holiday. That is, of course, unless you're on a fly and flop holiday. Then really, as long as the weather's hot, you can be anywhere, couldn't you, when you're just laying by the beach or the pool. But the location can also be an easy choice. If you're looking to take part in a particular activity, then the location would choose itself. For example, if you want to see humpback whales, then you need to find the best place in the world to do this within the restriction of the dates of your trip. If you want to see or take part in a particular festival, that also makes the decision about where to stay easy as well. It's also fairly easy if you're limiting your trip to non-stop destinations served by your local airport. So there's plenty of ways to reduce the list and the searching. For a fly and flop holiday, which most people seem to take, the tour operator websites can be useful as they will list the positive features of a particular resort. Thomas Cook and Thompson are good places to start. But do remember that only the positive features of the hotel and resort will be listed by the tour operator. As far as I'm concerned, the best use of a tour operator website is just to find out what you'll be getting for your money if you book with them. You should also always back up hotel and resort information by doing your own research. So to do that, you need to check out for the truth, and the common way to use this is to use review websites, and there are plenty to choose from, and some are more comprehensive than others. If you're researching an unusual trip, then you may find you're going to come across multiple websites that have exactly the same information set out in exactly the same way. I've had this before researching strange trips for my clients. Just website after website, just copying and pasting what somebody else has put, and there's just no new information out there. Unfortunately, plagiarism is live and well on the internet, and it does make your search a little bit harder at times. So if you're having problems, you can always ask somebody. No, I don't mean pop down to the travel agent. You should never waste a travel agent's time.